new here, welcome to the Healthy Hunnies family. I'm Healthy Emmie, and I am elated that you are here because you landing on this page shows me that you are interested in bettering your health. And you're willing to sit through this cheesy video trailer, plant-based cheesy video trailer. I promise we'll make it worth it. We're in this thing together now. As a nutritionist and a weight loss specialist, what more can I ask for from you, a new member of the Healthy Hunnies family? Somebody who's willing to sit through this cheesy, plant-based cheesy video trailer. You deserve to live your life as your healthiest version of yourself. And now that you and I have teamed up, we're gonna make it happen, honey. As the creator of the Slim on Starch program, I've been featured in Forbes, Apple News. Hey, do you think I should start wearing this now? Insider, Pop Sugar, and more. I've worked intimately with thousands of clients alongside my team of mindset coaches and nutrition coaches to help my clients release anywhere from the last few pounds to over 100 pounds. And at the end of this plant-based cheesy trailer, I'm going to show you the incredible humans that I am so proud to call my clients. My approach, just like everything else in my life, is very simple and structured. So this is my entire wardrobe. I have my Monday set, my Tuesday set, Wednesday set, Thursday set. Let me lay it out for you. And I know what you're thinking. Where did this whiteboard come from? Well, I actually used to be a math teacher before I became a nutritionist, and that explains that one. Here's how I help you to transform your health through releasing excess body weight. I have 3 main focus points that I work through with my clients or Healthy Hunnies on my YouTube channel. And when I have a client, they have ample support, not just from me, but also I assign them to a mindset coach from my team and a nutrition coach from my team to make sure that they have support from 3 professionals to achieve these 3 points. Let's go through them. But before we do that, I want to express 3 words that are critical to the success of you watching this channel and contributes to the success of my clients. And those 3 little words are: ask for help. Asking for help is a sign of self-awareness and self-respect. I often hear new clients say that they're embarrassed or ashamed or frustrated that they have to ask for help. But whenever a new client comes to me and asks for help, I admire them for being in the 1% of people who desire to better their health. And I'm proud of them for taking that step. It takes major bravery and vulnerability that I have massive respect for. Now that we've taken care of that, let's talk about the first thing that we're going to focus on this channel: what you are eating. You might call it whole food plant-based, you might call it vegan, you might call it unprocessed, you might call it the starch solution. Whatever it is you want to label it as, I keep it simple and just say we are going to get you to eat real food. Food that your grandmother would recognize. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, real food that doesn't have miles-long ingredients lists. Foods that you find in the produce section. Foods that are real, wholesome, nutritious, and nourishing. So when people ask me, tell me about your diet. Are you a vegan? Are you gluten-free? Are you paleo? Or we put this crazy label on it, and I just say, I just eat real, whole, natural food that comes from the earth. Not things that are processed in packages, but the real food that was intended for humans to eat. It's a diet based on starches, vegetables, fruits, and legumes with the absence of animal products and processed oils. So I don't eat any meat or cheese or dairy or fish, and I don't eat processed oils or added sugars. I'm eating real, whole, natural food. And as you'll see on this channel, I keep it so simple. I'll take rice or potatoes or oats or grains, pair it with some vegetables, pair it with some legumes like some beans, peas, or lentils, throw some spices or some condiments on there, have plenty of fruit, and call it a day. I don't believe that you have to be a chef or do crazy recipes or spend hours in the kitchen every single day in order to be healthy. And if that sounds like something that you would like to, then you're on the right channel, new Healthy Honey. I craft my philosophies nutritionally off of the greats like Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Doug Lisle, Dr. Alan Goldhammer, Neil Barnard, Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Dean Ornish, people that have really paved the way for the plant-based nutrition world and eating real, healthy, wholesome food. So yes, we are whole food plant-based here, but don't feel like you have to label yourself as anything because you're just eating real food if you're a healthy honey on this channel. The second thing that I focus on with clients is their hunger and fullness cues. Now, I know that many people come from a background of counting calories or macros or tracking or points, craziness, and they want to know when it comes to eating whole natural food, well, they say, Healthy Emmie, how much of it am I supposed to have? How many pieces of fruit? How many cups of oats? How many cups of rice? How many vegetables? And the thing is, when you eat real, whole, natural food from the earth, you don't have to count calories because our bodies have built-in calorie trackers for us, which are our hunger fullness cues. Now, unfortunately, due to many years of dieting with many of my clients, they don't seem to have these hunger fullness cues and are very intimidated by the thought of trusting their body to guide them on how much of this food they should consume. So one of the main focuses that you'll hear me talk about on this channel and that I do with my clients is have you tune in to those hunger fullness cues and allow you to regain trust with your body so that when you make these delicious, whole, healthy foods from the earth, you don't have to count how many grams of apple am I having? How many pounds of this am I having? How many cups of that? When you eat this real whole natural food, your body can be the guide. And the final point of my three-pronged approach is what's eating you? So now that I've intrigued you with my good looks, charm, and humor, let's head over to the couch and have a serious conversation. For many of my incredible clients and those watching this channel who are struggling with their weight, it's not just what you're eating, but it's what's eating you. I find that the relationship with food for many has become a primary relationship, one that gives good and one that gives not so good. Emotional eating can be a crutch to either drown out negative emotions or to seek emotions that we aren't getting from our daily relationships. Food can become the primary relationship for many people and many of the clients that I work with, which is why when I work with clients, it's not just talking about the food, but I go as far as to assign a mindset coach to all of my clients. And we go through mindset exercises together every week to make sure that we're digging past just what's on the plate and getting deep into asking what's going on in here. And you'll see me do that very often on this channel and talk about a concept called primary foods, which is extending beyond what we see on the plate to talk about what's going on with you in your life, in your relationships, in your hobbies, in your spirituality, in your interests, in your career, in your education. We have to address these things because just addressing what's on the plate is not going to be enough, especially for those that have struggled with their weight for quite a long time. It's manifested into this whole other beast that extends far beyond when we sit down to eat a meal a few times a day. Now let me show you the incredible Slim on Starch clients that have achieved what they are so deserving of by willing to be vulnerable and work with me and a nutrition coach and a mindset coach through the program. We'll start out with the befores of how they were feeling beforehand, and then we'll head into what they achieved and how they're feeling after.
I had spent a lifetime trying to lose the weight. My husband will call it the 32-year diet, but it's actually been well over 50 years. I was just mentally and emotionally done with dieting. And I was just going to have to resign myself with the fact that I was going to be pudgy, matronly, and miserable. And I just didn't want to be that middle aged woman. I want to be young and vibrant.
My story is not atypical of most women in their 50s. You know, I've gained and lost weight in various ways over those 3 decades, had 2 kids. And I got to the point where when I looked in the mirror, I did not see myself. Like the picture of self that you have, I started just in the last few years saying, this is not me.
I was confused. I'm like, why is it that the harder I try, the more out of control I am? And it was a struggle. Like all my life after that was just dieting, over exercising, gaining weight, losing weight. And it was just up and down, up and down, up and down. I was not comfortable in my body. I just wanted to like rip myself free. I was not happy with the way I looked. And I felt trapped and frustrated and like powerless and defeated. And I was just like, if I want to be fit and healthy, why can't I achieve the results? Like,
I was always on this like yo-yo situation. So I'd be eating really healthy and then I would drop off. I just felt lost because it was always either like super healthy, like, oh, I'm like strictly vegan. I feel good. I would lose weight. I feel fit. And then all of a sudden I would just stop working out and, you know, eat the pizza, eat the fast food. I'm like, okay, well, now I need to get back on it. Just like weeks on, weeks off. And oh my God, I feel like I kind of just lost control.
I have tried everything. So I think in the past, if I had had a lunch off plan, then it made me feel like the rest of the day is shot. So I might as well have some cookies and candies and cakes and top it off and all of my favorite foods because tomorrow I've got to get back on. So it was just this horrible cycle.
Last 2 years, I was having a struggle, had a major loss in my family. My mom passed away, and I just started using food for my comfort and medication, you know, and I know I could just picture her saying, come on, Kimmy, get back on the bus. You know, I fell off and here I am again. I tried Weight Watchers, restricting, counting calories, you know, writing everything down, probably just about everything everyone else does. You know, I have been a caregiver for over 26 years. And it kind of dawned on me, it's like, you know, people that need help call me and I help them. And it's like, well, why can't I call Emmie and have her help me? You know, it's okay to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It shows you how strong you really are.
We met, I was in full menopause. So menopause really kicked my butt. And I gained a bunch of weight, and that really, really bothered me. I probably weighed as much as I did back in college, which was 1982, 1983, and I just was very uncomfortable.
Like, I want that. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I was like, but is it possible? Like, can this actually work for me? Like, I've tried everything already. And is this going to work for me? Everybody else is saying, yeah, it works for them. And they're, you know, I see all these changes in them. But I'm like, will it work for me though? Like for me, like I really didn't think it was going to work for me. I didn't think I was going to be successful. I just thought I was going to be wasting my time and my money.
I remember asking you because I was kind of nervous like doing this because I've done a lot of programs. I've done, you know, from bodybuilding to Ironman races to hiring coaches on Instagram. Like I have put money into this world for a long time. So I was nervous. Like, I hope she doesn't get me. I hope I'm not going to have my money go to waste. But the thing that you told me, I asked the question, I was like, well, how do I know that this is going to work? And you said back to me, well, you need to believe in yourself that you can do this. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do that. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I want to do that. I want to be able to believe in myself. So let me start believing in myself that I can do this.
You know what the tipping point for me with this was, is being a mom of 2. I paused and I asked myself, if my child was struggling with how I feel I'm struggling right now with my weight and with my food and with my, relationship with food, if my child were struggling, would I get help? And I wouldn't hesitate. I would not hesitate. And I said, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I do this for myself?
I am pretty good at doing stuff by myself, but in the same way that I never would have been successful without going to college, I needed assistance. I needed help to get there, even if I was doing all the work myself. Yeah. And I was super nervous about signing up at the start because I have a big problem with asking for help. I always like to be able to do it on my own and not have to need anybody else. I like to feel independent. And so it took me a while to acknowledge, I had been struggling for the entire year, but it took me a while, but I said that I am worth it. I need help, and I have tried to do it on my own, and it's clearly not been working. So I did my best, but I need help now, and I was worth the help.
I was on a diet since I was 12 years old. I was really overweight as a kid, but I think my biggest struggle was always like constantly feeling like I'm in this hamster wheel of trying to lose weight, lose a bunch of weight, gain 10 pounds back, lose those 10 pounds, gain 5 pounds back, and just being on this like diet mentality and just having a toxic relationship with food, to be honest. Like it got to a point with, with the Weight Watchers that like I wasn't enjoying socializing because, oh, well, I already used all my points for the week. I don't want to go to dinner with everyone because then I'm going to have to do this.
Used to do the all or nothing mentality, the beat myself up every time I had a binge or anything like that. And well, I would continue on this cycle, and it would take me down to where I was feeling really bad about myself.
I was in a size 31 pant as an adult, and it just ballooned from there. So every year it was a weight, maybe a pound or maybe 2 pounds, maybe 3 pounds, whatever it was. I had went from a size 31 pant to a 38 pant. So went up 7 sizes, and you don't ever recognize that that's what's happening. You just feel like, okay, I'm getting older, and this is the way life goes. And
I have been struggling with my weight since I was a child. I've tried everything. I have tried every diet from keto, alternate day fasting, 24-hour fasting, intermittent fasting.
So I'm 44 now, and things are changing. And what I was doing worked for a long time, but then it kind of wasn't really working anymore. Gaining weight, losing weight.
When people say they've tried every diet, I've tried every diet. Over 30 years, I've been trying to figure this out.
I didn't want to wear the clothes that I had because I wasn't feeling good outside of my clothes. I felt like I had to kind of strategically dress in order to feel good. At one point, I kind of felt maybe ashamed. I was struggling with that. I was like, I just need to get back to me, to my old self.
I actually had a huge amount of problems with food, even at a very young age. My mom had to hire a therapist, and the therapist convinced me there was a food monster in my head telling me to eat all the food, because in the middle of the night at home I would sneak food, and I could eat a large amount of food even on a standard American diet. I'd eat a whole family size thing of Oreos and a bag of M&Ms and steal those tubes of cookie dough and eat those. So my relationship with food is deep. Even from a very, very young age.
This is part of the reason why I wanted to do this video, to help others realize that I'm completely normal, have been through exactly everything that everybody else has been through, and had come to a point where I thought, that's it, I'm broken. In fact, my husband turned to me and said, well, we're both heading towards our 40s, and you just have to accept that we're down the path of life. And I'm, if anyone knows me, I'm very tenacious, and I would not accept that. Crash dieting, following the latest fad, you name it, I did it. Again, a lot of doctors tended to dismiss me because I was saying I'm eating healthily and I'm exercising, yet I'm putting on loads of weight, which is one of the consequences of being with PCOS. But they just look at me and go, oh, you're just big boned, or actually there's nothing, something. They just gave me diabetic medication, which made me feel really ill.
I had had 2 babies in 2 years, and I was at my highest weight ever. I could never lose weight, and I never could figure out what I needed to do.
So I gained around 50 pounds in that pregnancy. And then after I had my second baby, he's 8 months now. Like, okay, I'm just going to wait for the weight to fall off of me. And it was not falling off. And I actually started gaining weight. And that's kind of where I was at that point. And then I ended up finding you on Instagram, and I saw that your program said Slim on Starch. And I was like, I love starches.
Well, you know, over 40, this could be the new us. Carrying an extra couple pounds, losing this weight wasn't going to happen. And this was the new me, but I kind of didn't want to succumb to that. I really did not feel 100% confident in a bathing suit. And we were at the pool all summer long. I didn't like that feeling.
Growing up, I was always one of the fat kids and kind of got scarred by that as a kid, but always frustrated with not having control of that aspect of my life. For 10 years, I've kind of been looking for the secret sauce on how could I get a handle on this.
I tried so many different diets. I started to really believe that there was something wrong with my body, like that I had a hormonal imbalance or thyroid issues or something, because like nothing seemed to work.
I have struggled with my weight for pretty much my whole life.
Unfortunately, I was struggling with losing weight actually for a really long time. I'd probably say for the last 10 years, it's been something that has been on the to-do list, so to speak. I'd come close. I would do things that would enable me maybe to lose a couple of kilos, and I'd get onto a really good thing. And then next thing, something would just push me off, and then I'd gain all the weight back. Everyone else who's losing weight, they've got this worked out, and I was just lazy, and that I just had the problem. When I would look in the mirror, I would look at myself and think, like, I'm not at my best, and I don't feel my best right now. And it just really sucked. And I felt guilty complaining about it.
Initially, it was really shallow. Like, I just wanted to lose my baby weight. I was struggling and I wanted to look better. But I think midway through the program, I realized that my ultimate goal was not about the weight loss. It was about a better relationship with food and a better relationship with myself. Because I was thinking on the lines of like, I am so past help. I've tried all of these ways to lose weight. It's just not working for me. I can't do it. Like, it's just, the weight's just always going to be there.
I just didn't know what to eat anymore. I didn't know. And I thought I was eating healthy and I thought I was eating the right foods, but I felt also a little like really insecure about the way I looked. You know, I didn't feel like I looked like myself, and I really want to feel good about myself. I really want to feel beautiful again. I just felt weighed down. I just wanted a more sustainable version of me. I just didn't want to be puffy one week and thin the next week. You know, I just needed some consistency. I remember being on vacation with other girls and telling them, I used to have a beautiful body. I was so afraid that I would never see that version of myself again. I was so afraid that it was gone.
And you always have that one person who goes, you look fine. Wait, why? And it's like, it's about how I feel. Like, I feel gross.
I was sort of at this point where I was like not really feeling like too good about myself. I was sort of just like at like a dull point, and I was just like, I want something to change. I want to be back to myself.
But suddenly I woke up one day and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I am a size 14 and I am not fit and I don't like that. So I started out doing a lot of crash dieting because that's where I ended up finding myself. And I did everything. I did the master cleanse. I did juice cleanses. I did water fasting, which is basically just starving yourself for a couple days. I did a military diet, And I did so many different things. And yes, my weight would drop, but then I'd be like, oh my goodness, I can have food again. And then it would all come back. And I was really frustrated. And I thought that I was a binge eater. And I think just the thought of me thinking that I was made me that way. And I ended up doing the binge restrict cycle a lot. I felt trapped. I want to be healthy and I want to heal my relationship with food once and for all, because this is taking up way too much of my emotional energy. Literally, I'd look in the mirror and start crying. I just hated the way I looked.
I was struggling and I didn't know why. And I would watch videos and I would read books because I tried and failed so many times before, not from a lack of effort, but a lack of knowledge.
Arthritis was bad. It would hurt, in my hands and also in my spine, actually. And I couldn't stand for a long time. So the arthritis was keeping me from having the art career that I wanted and also just exploring new places.
It started when I was a kid. I was always the kind of overweight, eating the standard American diet. And I started my first diet, which was drinking Slim Fast in the morning when I was around 11 or 12 years old. Do a new diet, work out more, try whatever I could to keep my weight down. But it just slowly crept up over the years. It was really frustrating. So before joining your program, I found myself at that, 197 pounds. And I was really concerned because I was worried about my health. I knew that carrying around this amount of weight was not good for my body, was not allowing my body to function at the best that it could, that it was routing energy to something that I didn't want it to route energy to. And so I decided I needed to make a change, but I wanted to make a change that would be sustainable and also the healthiest, that would allow me to live life the best way that I could and to the fullest for the longest amount of time possible. I was just confused because what I see and what I hear is not what I'm experiencing. And I want that, but I don't know where to go or what to do. So what I want to do is get rid of all the confusion. And I just want to know what is the healthiest way that is supported by evidence-based nutrition.
I came into the program with the intention of losing 20 pounds. And it's the same 20 pounds I've been losing and gaining back for quite a few years, to say the least. And so I wanted to just get off of that treadmill of always having this stress on my mind of, you got to lose weight, you got to lose weight. I thought, I don't want to mess this up. I want to work directly with Emmie and her team to make sure that I have got this safety net, that if I have questions that come up for me during the 6 weeks, and certainly now going into the master's program, I have someone who's done her research, who's done her homework, who really knows what she's talking about and how this really works for men and women of every age group.
When we met, I weighed 261 pounds. 261. I said, yeah, I'd like to be under 200. You said, no. What's your dream weight? What do you want to weigh? And if I could be 185, I'd be on the moon. And I remember telling you that, and you said, you're going to see that. And I said, there's no way. And now I'm at 168.
I was 136 pounds. And then I got to 109 pounds. And I never could have imagined that I would have had this level of success. It got to a point where I was just like, actually, I don't want to lose more weight. By the way, I lost all my weight. I just want to say this. I lost all my weight, no exercise. Wow, my sex drive is back. When that part is good, you just feel happier and more vibrant.
I've lost 20 pounds. And that's where I was when I was getting out of high school, going to college. I've had the pleasure of working with you, and you are the real deal.
And so this program has delivered on everything. Your team has been absolutely wonderful and amazing. I think your program is absolutely brilliant. and it delivers, So for me, it's like taking a happy pill every week when I get to be on a call with you, or I get feedback from, my mindset coach, my nutritional coach. They've been so positive and so supportive throughout the entire process. And it's been the easiest thing I've ever done. It's been the most joyful thing that I've ever done. And I just fell in love with you. You were so positive, so optimistic, and so confident. And I think that's really what made the biggest difference for me, is I thought, okay, she's got this thing locked in. All of the people that she's been working with, everyone is achieving amazing results, and they're doing it in a healthy way.
I can't say enough about this program. This program has given me the gift of mastery. I can master my weight and be wherever I want to be. I know how to maintain at any given weight. It's so easy. It's not like the diets where it's like, okay, I know what to do, but it doesn't taste good. No, it's like, I know what to do and the food tastes good. Mm-hmm. So it's a win-win situation.
First of all, when I got to my goal weight, I was like, wait a minute, that was fast. Each week it would just keep going down, and then it kept going down. And every week I would say, oh my God, each week, until I said, okay, I'm painting my clothes on. It has to stop. It just happened faster than I expected it to happen, and with so little effort. I was like yelling, I have to stop losing weight because I need to fit my clothes. I don't need to keep going. I've been maintaining this lower weight. 10 years ago when I started dieting, I would not have believed that I could eat as much food as I'm eating, be the weight I want it to be, maintain it, and have it be this easy. I just feel like because this huge weight has been lifted, everything else has just been balanced. I've gotten a promotion at work. I mean, my kids are doing amazing. My marriage is doing amazing.
I lost all the weight and then more than I actually expected. Have no regrets at all. The best decision I've ever made. And I have people asking me like, you're glowing, you look great. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm actually happy. I feel good about myself. I feel good. I no longer feel depressed about the way I look. I actually love myself. I love my body, and I feel comfortable in myself with my body and just the way I feel. Like I, for the first time, actually feel healthy all around, mentally and physically, with my being, with my whole being. I just feel so much better. And I look back at the person I was before we talked, and I remember how I felt. I felt horrible about myself. I was just such in a dark place and thought I was going to be stuck there forever. And I was just going to be miserable forever. I didn't ever think I was going to like myself. I didn't ever think I was going to be comfortable in my body. I always thought, yeah, like this is it. I'm just going to sit in this hole and just stay here and just be miserable forever. But now that I'm not there anymore, like, I can't believe like that's where I was. Like the difference between then and now, it's huge. Even my husband and my kids notice it. If you resonate with this story, then I think you really should talk to Emmie. It will be the best decision you make. You will not regret it. And not only will you fix your relationship with food and lose weight, you will just feel so much better about yourself, and you would look at life differently. Like you won't be obsessive over food anymore. You would enjoy life.
So I have lost almost 50 pounds, which is blowing.
I get complimented of the way that I look, that my body looks. In fact, I feel better now, or as good as when I was a teenager. So, in my between 16 and 19 years old.
Oh, I've achieved so much. Well, first of all, I was able to lose over 40 pounds, and that's just incredible to me. I've been able to get down to the smallest I've been in over 20 years of trying to lose weight. Yeah. And it happened so fast.
Yes. So this week I have released 48 pounds since we started working together, like February, March.
I've lost 19 pounds in a little over 6 weeks, which is, I'm still in shock. I still look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, did that really happen? Because it feels like it was just yesterday that I started the program. And on top of that, I always struggle like with anxiety, generalized anxiety. And it was literally from like first few days in, I felt a lot calmer, and my anxiety has pretty much, it's still there because I still struggle with it, but it's definitely calmed down a lot.
I have far exceeded what I wanted to lose on this SOS program. After over 50 years, it has finally clicked. So I can't thank you enough. I am 66 years old and very proud of it.
After being in your program, I don't think I've binged since or restricted. It was just this, that makes so much sense. So there's so much to learn in this program, and don't feel like I've tried everything, I'm hopeless. If I can do it, you watching out there can do it also. If any part of my story sounds familiar to you, or if it's something that you're struggling with, you should do yourself a favor and sign up for this program. It was an important thing to invest in. You know, you have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of everyone else as a mom. So I knew all the things. I thought I knew all the things. And then after being in your program, I learned so much more than I ever thought. So
the weight started coming off, and that was, hey, we found the secret sauce. Finally, I lost 30 pounds, a little more than 30 pounds. Emmie, you've changed my life, and I really appreciate it. I'd recommend it to anybody.
This is seriously the best I have felt in my life, in my 32 years on this planet. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy that you seriously changed my life for the better. I mean, this was like seriously the best decision I made in my life. Like, that's not an exaggeration at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I didn't even say I lost 13 pounds. I didn't tell everybody. And so I lost 13 pounds and it was crazy. And I think I lost like 9 pounds in the first 3 weeks. My body's like, yes, let me purge this right now. And it was just so quick.
Just fill out the form. It's a complete game changer because it will completely change your life.
I feel like myself again. I have finally healed my relationship to food. The freedom I am experiencing now in my everyday life is incredible.
At the end, I dropped to 120 pounds, which if you would have told me at the beginning of this program that would be my maintenance weight 6 months later, because right now, it's 6 months after the 6 weeks. And I'm still, whether it's 119 or 121, it's always in that realm, which is great. And I feel like I have the tools in there that if I start to creep up or go too far down, because at one point during the 6 weeks, I did hit 117. And so my nutrition coach is like, okay, we need to start changing things. I'm like, I eat. I mean, you can look at the meal that I have at lunch. It's when I'm at work, and like my coworker Natalie, she'll come out with this cute little salad. I'm like, here's my bowl.
So far, I've lost 40 pounds, and I feel amazing, and I'm still doing it. I'm not giving up.
You're kind of battling these feelings of like, do I need to do this? Like, is this program just for people that need to lose lots of weight? For me, it was so much more than losing the weight, and that's what it can be for people, like the mental side of it, and just like healing that relationship with food, like getting, once you take the eyes off the food and stop worrying about that, you can focus on your real life and your relationships. And but during the 8 weeks, I lost 3 kilos, went down 2 dress sizes, finally went down to a stable weight as well. So the emotional progress was the biggest game changer for me, just having that mental and physical alignment. Like, it's great to lose weight and to feel good about yourself, but to be happy and healthy and have that all aligned, it just blew my mind how my mindset changed.
Drum roll, I have now lost roughly 8 kilos, roughly 20 pounds. It just started dropping off like rapidly. Like I said, now I don't even try, and I literally lose on average 1 kilo a week. Literally every time people see me, they're like, what the hell? Like, you're so tiny now. You're so slight.
Why would you not want to do something that makes you feel so much better? Because what have you got to lose? it has become something that is so second nature to me and something that I don't even think about doing. Food isn't an issue. So now I can put my energy into things that are like my housework and my schoolwork and things like that. Emmie has been a lifesaver for me, and I am not even exaggerating.
Like even my clothes, I had to donate a lot of my clothes because they were just so big. I lost so much around my hip that all of the pants that used to be really tight, I could easily take off, even when the zip was closed, even when everything was fastened. 6 months ago, I'd been like, nah, that's, you can't, you're not wearing those things. Like, shows too much of, your stomach that you don't like. It shows too much of your thighs and everything like that. But now I'm like, I don't have any worries about those things.
Every week, like shrink, shrink, shrink. It started with my stomach and I was like, hey, I'm hot. Look at me. It was awesome.
I'm so happy that I made this decision. It's so hard to put everything into words. It really is. You learn so much about yourself aside from food. Like you just learn so much about you and how to handle situations and how to handle your emotions. And you learn how to be a better person to yourself. My blood pressure was the lowest I have had it since I had my first son, who was 12.
This is the game changer. This is the system. This was the program I was looking for. I have dropped almost 6 pounds in the first 7 weeks of the program, which for someone who already had a low BMI, I was already fit. And so to see a number on the scale that's below what I thought was the lowest I could go was surprising. I'm almost 42. Who would think that they would be this weight at this age? This was exactly what I needed. And that's what I was looking for. I just wanted a system that worked for me.
Now I can truly say that my relationship with food is so good. I was able to lose more weight, diet only.
I can't describe the energy I have. And my kids comment on mommy's energy and me being able to spend more time, spend time with them instead of wanting to go crawl into bed because I have no energy. I mean, like that's what this is about. I want to feel good while I'm living my life. I want to have the energy to enjoy my life, to enjoy my kids, so.
I thought I was only needed to lose 5 pounds, or, I thought I would meet my goals if I lost 10 pounds. And then I ended up now I'm only a couple pounds away from losing 30 pounds total.
No hand pain. I have no hand pain now. Things that were really hitting on my immune system issues it's been huge. I don't know how else to say it. It's been amazing. I love it.
This is working, and it's seriously working. My body became a fat burning machine. I mean, what was it? 3.5 pounds the first week, 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. And that I did not anticipate this. I thought maybe a pound, maybe it'll take, if I can lose a couple pounds, maybe 5-6 pounds over 6 weeks. That's nice, right? And to learn something new. But no.
I've lost 15 pounds officially. It just drops and drops and drops. And I'm comfortable. I'm just more comfortable in my skin. I just wish everybody would really examine, where they invest their time and their money, because I think we dance around the issue and we spend our money dancing around the issue.
Having done the first call with you, I was really nervous before that first call because I was signing my name to this and going for it. And it was something I'd never really done before in terms of following that kind of program. But my first few weeks, the first week I lost a lot amount of weight. Week on week, I was still losing weight.
Structure and accountability are, I would say, two of the biggest things that help me with any endeavor that I'm in life. And so, yeah, that structure really made me feel like, okay, I can take the leap and trust Emmie, because at least it's not a free for all, and it's not just yeah, Lauren, just listen to your body, because I didn't trust myself at all in the beginning of SOS. And that's still very much a work in progress for me. But when I tell you the leaps and bounds I have made in the past year, really, I'm coming up on 1 year of following your program. It's unbelievable just how much more I trust myself now than I did a year ago. And as far as the weight loss goes, you know what? I just wanted to get under a certain number that I had been hovering at. For 6 months, I could not, no matter what, I couldn't do it. I couldn't starve myself into it.
I just couldn't. And with your program, I did.
It's just so simple. Your program's very simple, and I really appreciate that because I have a lot that I want to get to, and I don't want to be thinking about food, and I don't want to be cooking all day. So I appreciate that. First off, all the foods are so gosh darn easy to make. Cleanup is easy. I started getting more hours back in my day. Even just within the first week, I was like, what? This is crazy. I felt like you had literally been like, okay, I'm going to like unlock the cage. You can come out now and like start living life. I feel like I'm so much sharper now as a person, and I feel like I'm seeing color again and not living in a black and white reality. I think it's so impressive how quickly this works.
Just short of 20 pounds right now. So yeah, and I'm still doing it. I'm going to keep on doing it.
How does it feel for you to say that?
I actually feel pretty proud of myself, Emmie. I really am. It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. That I don't really have to try to figure this thing out anymore. You know, you and my team have helped me do that, figured this thing out. You know, I'm not by myself anymore.
And very easy to maintain it. It's not a fad diet. It's not something that, you know, you stop eating and you're going to gain all your weight back plus more. It's nothing like that. It's an actual lifestyle that you will want to do. And the more you eat this way, the more you crave it. Doing exactly what I've been doing, everything you all taught me, I have listened, I have incorporated it, and I'm still doing it. It's really not difficult. It's really not difficult. It is not a cult. It's not a diet. It's just a great way of eating. Whole food, plant-based is a great way of eating. It makes you feel so much better. And the plus part is you'll lose weight naturally. For me, eating this way every day is so easy. And when you feel good, you want to keep doing it.
If you want to work with me and my team, you can click the link in the down bar. And if you are just new here and want to see what this is all about, then hit the subscribe button because I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, or as we say here, Catterday. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah!